Hello and welcome to Wednesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptid. Goodness me, I couldn't remember what day it was then. I blame my friend Ewan, with whom I went out to dinner last night. Ewan is a creature with almost no redeeming features, although he did pay for dinner, so well done, Ewan. We found your redeeming feature, and I'm feeling very delicate. Well, anyway, I hope we've got a really good puzzle to do today. It has a 100% approval rating on Logic Masters Germany, a very, very tough thing to achieve. And it was published on the 1st of April, which is slightly worrying. So I don't know if there is an April Fool's element to this, but I have read the rules and they are quite comedy. And this central box is quite comedy. It's called Reversing Valve and it's by VikingPrime. And this is going to be our task for today's video. But I've got some news for you before we get into that. I'm going to start with the Patreon reward for May, which was of course DiMono's The Jewels of Osiris, a Sudoku hunt like no other, because it took the form of a novella in which, in order to read the whole story, or what might be the whole story, you had to solve Sudoku puzzles. And well, anyway, I need to. Well, firstly, there's going to be a roll of honour at the end of this video, showcasing the names of every single correct solver that we received. So fantastic work! If you did manage to get through all of them, you'll see your name up in lights. Secondly, we need to talk about some of the. Let me get my list up here, and we can talk about some of the entries. So I should start by saying that DiMono is planning on running a Kickstarter to try and secure funding to continue the story. So if you want to know more about how the protagonist's tale continues, then check that out. I don't think we have a link to that yet, but as and when we get it, we'll put that under a video for DiMono. Now, Mark and I were somewhat... So the idea, by the way, for those of you who didn't solve the whole hunt, was at the end of the hunt, you were asked to come up with a name for Osiris's staff. So that was the job. And quite incredibly, we got the same answer from a number of you. 5 of you came up with the name Bob, which I found very funny. But I wasn't allowed to put that forward to the potential correct solutions. 2 of you came up with another name I approved of mightily, which was Bobbins McBobbins Face. Now, I think Osiris's staff probably was called Bobbins McBobbins Face back in the day, but again, I was vetoed on that one. Staffy McStaff Face, 3 of you came up with that, which was also good. But now we're getting into the nitty-gritty. So these were the ones that DiMono thought special shout-out was deserved. So the needlessly large rod of clairvoyance, clear Monty Python references there, and that was Miguel Tolentino. So well done, Miguel. And then there was Doran T, who came up with basically it was the Arabic word meaning Tim, which is another reference to Monty Python, I think. Tim the Enchanter from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I won't start spitting all over the webcam, but I could. And if you've watched Monty Python and the Holy Grail, you will know why I refer to that. Next, Stuart Tierney came up with the Shadow of Anubis, which, I mean, that's a proper name. That could be correct, couldn't it? And Jay Gralks, I'm not sure if I'm saying your name properly, Jay, I hope I am, came up with the Staff of Exiles, which was also grand. Now, in second place, Brodie Appleby and Yasmin Stewart, the staff that dreams are made of. And we like that. Mark and I both like that because it puns on the stuff that dreams are made of in a sort of cryptic crosswordy way. So very nice too. But the winner, and we'll be in touch. I don't know whether it's Jacob or Jakob Skowronek. So probably I'm going to go for, no, I think it might be Jacob Skowronek. It could be Jakob Skowronek. Was Usir's Judgment, and Usir was another name for Osiris. So quite I mean, that's Usir's Judgment. That's like a weapon you'd get in Diablo 4, isn't it? Which is coming out soon. Usir's Judgment. I think if you get Usir's Judgment, you're going to rule the roost over quite a few dungeons. And yeah, so well done to Jacob, well done to all of those who achieved mentions, and well done to all of you who have your names in the Roll of Honour at the end of this video. Now, I'm also obliged to tell you that tomorrow is the 1st of June. These are the knowledge bombs we get to share. Now, on the 1st of June, it means it's Patron Reward Day, so if you're a patron, look out at 4 o'clock for the Planets, or the Planet Suite, which is our new Sudoku hunt, created by Cracking the Cryptic this time, and there'll be an opportunity for you getting your names read out on the channel. All will be explained at 4 o'clock tomorrow in the document that will come out, and we look forward to the feedback. This hunt is easier, so if you have struggled on the last one or on some of those recently, do check out this one. We predict astronomically large numbers of correct solutions overall, but it should keep you busy for a few hours at least. What else can I tell you about today? Let me look. I've got two cool. Oh, I've got two cool birthdays to do really today. I'm going to start off with Marty Sears. Now, Marty's appeared on the channel many times with some fabulous Sudoku puzzles, and your brother Danny got in touch with us, Marty, and said that it's of no surprise that you've appeared on the channel several times, because you've made the family earn their Christmas and birthday presents over the years by sort of making them solve puzzles in order to earn them. And that's something of which I heartily approve. So, Marty, congratulations on your birthday today, and I hope you have lots of chocolate cake. And then Ellie over there at Cornell University. Ellie turns 22 today. And I know this because, well, her friend Justine wrote to us, but her friends Justine, Omar, Eleanor and Tito have bought Ellie a present of a 1-year subscription to our Patreon. So you'll be able to do the Planet Suite tomorrow, Ellie. And Ellie is also not only turning 22 today, but graduating from Cornell with a physics degree later in this week. So Ellie, what a week for you. Many congratulations. That is a fantastically prestigious university. I want to say Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I think she went to Cornell. Do I know anyone else who might have gone to Cornell? Now I'm going to show huge ignorance by not coming up with their most famous alumni. I'm not even going to try, actually. But no, anyway, Ellie, many congratulations on your birthday. I hope you have chocolate cake with your friends, yeah, that's all we've got for you today. So let's get on with the rules of reversing valve, and let's see what VikingPrime has done to deserve this 100% rating. 3 stars out of 5 for difficulty, so it might be doable. Let's see. Right, these are the instructions. The value of digits within a cage must sum to the small clue in the top left corner of the cage, and digits must not repeat within a cage. Oh, but values may repeat. Okay, so we'll get on to what's going on there in a moment or two. The value of digits along the values of digits along a thermometer must increase from the bulb to the tip. So normally the way this would work would be something like this. The bulb must contain the lowest digit, and then as mercury would rise as the temperature increases, so must our digits rise as we move away from the bulb of the thermometer. Now, this is where it gets more interesting. There are 9 hot cells contained within the grid, comprised of a set of the digits 1 to 9. Each row, column and box contains exactly 1 hot cell. There are 9 cold cells contained within the grid, following the same rules as the hot cells. A cell may only have 1 of these roles. And for cages and thermometer values, hot cells increase the value of the contained digit by 1, and cold cells decrease the value of the contained digit by 1. So, this is I have done a puzzle with this rule set before. I want to say Brennan77 set one like this. But let's try and think about this. Let's look at this 14 cage and imagine that, well, a 14 cage, if there was no hot and cold cells, it could be 6, 8 or 5, 9. If there was a hot cell in it, then that's heating up the digits. So these two cells would add up to 13, and one of them would be heated up by 1 in order to get to 14. And if there was a cold cell in it, these two would have, well, the digits would add up to 15, but their value would be reduced by 1, so that they add up to 14. And then I suppose you could have a hot and a cold digit in there as well. And then the two digits would add up to 14, and one of them would be heated and one of them would be cooled, so the plus and the minus one would cancel each other out. So this is going to be completely and utterly bonkers. Do have a go at the bonkers puzzle from VikingPrime. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. I mean, I've got to start here because this is just screaming at me. And that's because quite often I start puzzles about thermometers by recounting the 2 secrets of thermometers, which do not apply here. So the normal secrets to thermometers are that you can only put a 1 on the thermometer in the bulb, and you can only put a 9 in the tip, because if you try and put a 9 halfway down a thermometer, the next digit up is going to be a 10, which is not a valid Sudoku digit. However, that gives us an immediate paradox in this puzzle, because where do we put the 1 and the 9 that we know must exist in the central box? And the answer to that is, well, the 9, so the 9 must be lowered, mustn't it? So the 9 must be cold and become an 8. Right, so one of these squares is a cold 9. I don't know quite, I'm going to use blue for cold, and therefore, oh, hang on, have I? No, okay, I was about to say, well, how do I was about to try and put a 9 above the cold 9, but actually I need something with the value of 9 that is not itself a 9, if you see what I mean. So imagine this was a cold 9, its value is 8, but on the thermo I need this cell to be higher than 8. And I was going to do that by putting a 9 in, but that of course would put 2 9s in the same column. So actually what I've got to do is put an 8 in and heat the 8 up. So there is a heated 8 in one of these squares. Should we use orange for heat? Yeah, let's use orange, because I think orange and blue are the most colourblind friendly colours as well. Now, okay, so we must do the same thing with 1 here, mustn't we? Where does the 1 go in this box? Well, it's got to go in one of those 3 squares, and it's got to be a heated up 1 in order to have the value of 2, which will allow us to put something with the value of 1 beneath it, or the value of 0 beneath it. But we can't, we can't get to a value of 0 without it being a 1 beneath a 1 and being cooled down as well. So there is a cooled 2 in one of these squares. This is completely bonkers. Okay. Now what does this mean? And what I'm actually trying to think about in my brain is, where does the 2... Yeah, okay, so I suppose what we can now say is that these 3 squares here, because there's only 1 hot digit and 1 cold digit in a box of the Sudoku, these are all normal digits. And everything that is not a 1 and a 9 in the central box is a normal digit, so it has its normal value. So the 2 in this box, I think it's in one of these cells, I think. Because if it was here, for example, what would we then be saying? We'd be saying we'd need to put a 1 beneath it, or something with the value of 1, and then this would have to have a value of 0. So you could put a cold 1 here, but then there would be nothing here that could have a value of 1, because we couldn't use a cooled 2. And we couldn't use a repeated 1. Oh, goodness me, it's not actually that straightforward, this, is it? So there's a 2 in one of these that's normal, and that must have a 1 beneath it. Now, is that a normal 1? I think it is a normal 1. Because it can't be a cooled 2 beneath a 2, and it can't be a heated 0 because there's no such thing. So Okay. And does that work on the top end as well with 8? It probably does work the same way. So 8, if we put it here, would have to have a 9, 10 above it, and that's not going to work because that's going to be a heated 9 here. Above something with an actual value of 9, which could only be, but we know that the actual 9 in the box has a value of 8. So I can't reuse that. So, okay, so there is an 8 in one of these, and then there must be a 9 above it, because again, we can't cool down a 10. Right. Now. Oh, hang on. Maybe I should have looked here before. I've not actually thought about this, but this might be a better place to start. But I was looking at this cage as I was having some thoughts then. Now, if this cage was cooled down, it would contain a digit. Well, its 2 digits would add up to 14, and one of them would be cooled. But we can't make these 2 cells add up to 14 because 8 and 9 can't go in the cage. So we can't use 5, 9, and we can't use 6, 8. So this doesn't contain a cooled digit, it doesn't contain a hot digit, and it doesn't contain the digits 8 and 9. So that does contain a 6 and a 7, and is a normal cage. Now, is this normal? I think this is going to be normal, isn't it? What could it be? It's either 8, 9 and it's normal, or it contains a heated digit, which it... yeah, it could have contained a heated digit before this was normal, because it could have had a 7 that was heated up to become worth 8, and that could have partnered the 9, and it would have worked. But this having to have a 7 in it means that this is normal. Doesn't have the opportunity to grow. Now, so now these 2 cells are not 8s and 9s. So they are not, they're normal. Because, is that right? Hang on. I know, well, certainly this cell's normal. Could that cell be a cool... hang on, I think I'm losing my marbles here. I mean, it's certainly true to say... I think these are now an 8, 9, 2 by 2, which is very odd. But I'm slightly worried this could be a blue cell still. So perhaps I don't deserve to make this blue, or to make this green. It's quite interesting actually. The maximum value of that cell is 5 now by SUDOKU. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. I'm sort of... I will think about this some more in a minute, but I'm just a bit uncomfortable with trying to work out how it works when I don't know where the hot and cold digits are. Okay, can we... I don't know. What's going to be an easy win here? Do I know what that is? That's a 16 cage, but it could... Oh, it can't have a hot digit in it. So it can't add up to 15, but it could add up to 17 and have a cold digit in it. Oh, the other thought I should actually just... that's just occurred to me is, do I have to keep track of the hot and cold digits that I've used? Because... yeah, so one of these is a hot 8 and one of these is a cold 9. So we've used cold 9 and hot 8. Maybe I'll put the digits that are modified in the corners, so I remember. Okay, that digit is green because that's not, because we know that's not the cold digit. So these two are both green. So how could this not be 5? It would have to be a cooled down digit, wouldn't it? Because it can't be a heated up digit. I've got a feeling that this... Oh no, this could just go 5, 4, 3... No, but it can't. I do need to adjust things in this column. Yeah, that's the way to think about it, or that's the way I could think about it, is where are the adjustable digits in this column? And I've got 3 possible positions, which means one of these is adjusted. But I know whichever one of these is adjusted, I have to adjust the other one as well, because there's a reversed 1-2 pair in this column. So it must be here, and I must put the 1 above the 2. This is so ridiculous. So these lose their orange, they become green. These lose their blue, they become green. One of these is a normal 1-2 pair. Right, so let's just check we understand. So this is cooled 2, hot 1. And we've got 3, 4 and 5 to put into the column, which must be normal digits, which must go like that. There we go. Okie dokie. These 2 squares are not 1 anymore. These 2 squares are not 2. And... oh, hang on. Have I broken this again now? What's going on here? I've got a 14 cage that can't have an... oh, right, okay, well this cannot have a hot digit in it, because then it would have to have... oh no, it has to have a hot digit. I'm thinking about it the wrong way round. I was thinking it can't contain digits that add up to 15, because then I'd have to cool them down. Well, not only would I have to cool them down, but they would either be 8, 7 or 9, 6. So this must have hot digits in it, because it can't add up to 14 naturally, because it can't have 9 or 8 in it. So that has got hot digits in it. They must therefore add up to 13, and they're not 9, 4 or 5, 8. So that's done. That's a 6, 7 pair. Oh, nearly. So if this... oh no, this is lovely. Okay, now I've just realised something, which is that this row has seen hot and cold digits. So that 8 cage is normal, and it can't be 2, 6 or 1, 7. So that's a 3, 5 pair. Which means these 2 squares by Sudoku, of all things, are a 1-2 pair. And it is absolutely outrageous, VikingPrime, that you are already sullying me with the saddle of having to do Sudoku a mere 23 minutes into your puzzle. Oh, now what's going on with this? This has become troubling. So this must contain a cold digit, I think. And this is rather lovely, this 10 cage, actually. Because imagine we try and make it normal. Well, then it has to be 4, 6, 3, 7. Well, it can't be those. 1, 9 or 2, 8, and it can't be those. So it's not normal. It's not hot. So it must be cold, which means it adds up to 11. And it's not 2, 9, 5, 6 or 4, 7. So it's 3, 8. Now, do we know... no, that's really weird. So it's 3, 8, but I don't know which of the digits is cooled down, I don't think. I know I've had a cooled down 2 and a cooled down 9, but I haven't had a cooled down 3 or a cooled down 8. But all of these now turn normal, and that's huge, because now I must have a 7, 9 pair in my 16 cage. Which is possibly interesting. Or not. Let me think. Well, here's quite a lovely thought, actually. If this was... we know one of these is a 1-2 pair. Well, if it was this one, that would be a 1-2 pair in box 2, and 1 and 2 do not add up to 7, even with modification. So this is 1, 2, which means these are not 1, 2, which means I was about to say, which means this is 3, 4, but that might be wrong, of course, because we might have some adjustment to do. We've only got cooling down to do, so these would add up to 8 with cooling down, and they would be 3, 5. So this is either 3, 4 or 3, 5. It's definitely got 3 in it, but I'm not sure that we know whether it's being cooled or not yet. What about this row then, where we've got to put in 4, 5 and 6 by the looks of things, and that's not 4, so that's 5 or 6. Hang on, what's going on in this box? 5, 6 and 7 to place, so we can't put 5 higher up on a thermo than a 5 or a 6. That won't work. So this is a normal digit and is not 1 or 2. So that's 3, 4 or 5. Hang on. So this could be... Oh, this is complicated. I'm not very good at this. I don't feel like I'm very good at this. If this is normal, it's 4, 7 or 5, 6. But it could have some adjustments, especially if this is 8 on top of 9, I could have one adjusting digit there, which would be a cooling digit, and then I could have a heating digit here. Okay, I'm not sure. That's not 6, because there's a 6 in that box, and that's not 5, because there's a 5 in that box. I think I'm going to have to look for something else, actually. There might be more stuff that we can do in the central 3 columns, but it's not immediately apparent to me that it's easy to spot what to do. Oh, there's a 5 here. Sorry, I didn't see that. I was suddenly thinking, where do 1 and 2 go in there? And I couldn't work out how I could place them, but I can. So I've got a 1, 2 pair. I've got a 3, 4 pair. 3 and 4 do add up to 7, so they are both green. Now we've got to consider whether or not this could be... Well, no, okay. So the blue digit in this column is not there. So it is there. That's the only place it can go. And therefore it's a cooled down 9, which gives us the 8, which means these two squares now are... Well, they're a 9 and an 8, so they must be normal. I say that. Well, actually the 8 clearly must be normal. The 9 can't then be cooled, so that's fine. So this square loses its flashing, that square loses its flashing. We've got a 1, 2 pair at the top. Oh, hang on, that's not true. I just did that, but that's not true, is it? One of the... Oh, this is so, it's so ludicrous. So one of these is a cooled down digit that counts for either... It's either a 2 counting for a 1 or a 1. Oh, no, it is. It's a 1 counting for a 0, because we've already cooled down a 2. So there is a 0 in effect in one of those squares, but it doesn't matter for anything. These two squares are normal, and they are 5, 6 by Sudoku, because they can't be 2, 9, 3, 8 or 4, 7. So this square's become a 7, that square's become a 6, that's become a 5. So in these squares now we've got 3, 4 and 7 to place, and we can't put 7 in the bulb of a thermo, so we get the 7. And we've not heated up digits in here, have we? I'm now wondering whether it's legitimate that this is green. How do I know where the hot digit is in this box? I've got hot, hot, so one of these is hot. If that was hot and it was 3, it would still be less than 5. I'm not sure about that. I don't know. I might have proved that this was a green digit. I'm not entirely sure that's valid. I mean, if that's hot and it's 4, it wouldn't work. But if it's hot and it's 3, it would still be less than 5. I'm not sure I trust that that's green. If that's hot, it makes no difference. If that's hot, yeah, okay. So we might not know where our hot digit goes here. I know how to do it. We can look at what we've heated up already. We've heated up 1, we've heated up 8. We've heated up something in the 14 cage. I've cooled down 2. There's a cooled down 1. I don't know which. I don't know, actually. This is tricky. This is tricky. All right, what's going on here? We've got a 12 cage that can't be natural. I can see that because it can't be 3, 9, 4, 8 or 5, 7. And it can't have a hot digit in it. So that has a cold digit in it, which means it adds to 13 and it is 6, 7. This is really mad. So now all of those become natural. And that must be a 2, 4 cage because it's not 1, 5. Oh, so the 5 cage is adulterated now in some way. Because it can't be 2, 3 or 4, 1. Yeah, and it's the way it's adjusted is it's adjusted. It hasn't got a hot and a cold digit in it, because then it would add up to 5, and that's still not possible. So it has only got 1 digit. So it's either got a hot digit in it, and the digits in it add up to 4, and they're 1, 3. Well, that doesn't work, actually, because that's going to give this cell no possible fill. Yeah, aha. Got a 1, 3 pair there, so we can't make that 1, 3. So this is cooled down, and it adds up to 6, and it's not 1, 4. Sorry, it's not 2, 4, so it is 1, 5. So this is 1, 5. This is now 2 by Sudoku. This is 1. This cannot be blue. I hope this is, yeah, that's the right way round, isn't it? Because we knew we had a cooled 1 in this domino because of this. So that's green. One of these is a cooled 5, actually, because we've had the cooled 1. And we've still got to put a hot digit in here. Does that have to be in the 14 cage? Probably, but I'm not sure I know that. If the 14 cage was natural, it would be 6, 8, because it couldn't be 5, 9. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to do that. Let's think. Oh dear. What? Oh look, in this little congregation there is hot and cold digitage, because we've not put anything into box 4 yet. I mean, this there doesn't seem to me I mean, sure, there is enough information to finish it, but I'm not sure. Can I get this 8 cage maybe? So the 8 cage could have a hot digit in it, in which case the digits would add up to 7, and they would be 2, 5. They would be 2, 5. That's the only way that works, because 3, 4 would rule this out, and 1, 6 would rule out this one. But it can't have a cold digit in it. It could be a natural cage, in which case it's not 1, 7 or 2, 6, so it's 3, 5. Okay, so what we learned from that is there is a... it's not helpful. That's so annoying. Well, we learn there's a 5 in this cage, but we don't know its nature, really. That means the 5 in this column is in one of three positions, look. The 11 cage here. Oh, it so nearly can't be natural. It can't be 2, 9. It can't be 5, 6, and it can't be 4, 7, but it can be 3, 8, I think. So one option is 3, 8. If it's adulterated, it's because it's got a hot digit in it. So these two digits add up to 10. And they would have to be 1, 9. And they can't be 1, 9, actually. Because 1 is over here. 2 is there. 3, 7 and 4, 6 are ruled out. So that's a natural cage. And it's 3, 8, which gives me a 4 here and a 3 here. And a 1 here and a 3 here. And if that's 3, 8, this is not 3, 5. So this is 2, 5, which means it's got to be heated. And which digit is heated? We don't have a Scooby-Doo. We don't know that, do we? Okay, but those are now green. Because we've got our 2 adjustments. These are all green. Aha, and this is 6, 8 now, because we said it couldn't be 5, 9 before. So that seems to have to be heated up now, and it's not in anything. Which is slightly discombobulating. Can we get the value of this by looking at what we've got in this row? Look. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We haven't put 6, so we've got 6, 7s and 9s to put in. And this is a heated digit. Now, what have we heated up so far? We have heated up... We don't know. We really don't know. We've heated up 8 and 1, and one of those two, so whichever one of these is hot, will rule out itself from that cell. Oh, that's a 9. Sudoku on this box. So this is right. So these two cells between them. Oh no, I can do this. This is great. I should just do Sudoku. There's a 6 in this box. So that's a 7. That's a 7. That's a 6. Now that's hot, which means the hot digit here is 6. Wow. So this is 9 by Sudoku. I can get this digit. That's 2. No, it's not. It's 4. Yeah, 4 looks right. Okay, there's a 2 here and a 1 here. This 4 means this is 6 now, and that's 4. Oh, that's been available since we got that 5. I just didn't spot it. Okay, so there is quite a lot of naughty Sudoku to do in this puzzle. 1, 4 and 8 along here. And so we've got to do some testing. Oh, by Sudoku, that seems to have to be an 8. Now, have we done... Well, it's not a hot 8, so we can get rid of the hot one from that. Is it a cold 8? We don't know, because we don't know what that one is. Oh. What about... So this could be a cold 8. I've got to have a hot 1 or a hot 4 in here. Have we got... Oh, I've had hot 1. So there's a hot 4 in one of these. So 4 is hot. There's a sort of X-swing on hots then. So whichever one of these is hot. The 2 or the 5, but we don't know which of these is hot. Ah! Have we had cold 1? Oh, look, yeah, this is gorgeous. Right, look at these. I've had cold 1. So in this little triple, I've got hot 4, which is not allowed to also be cold 4. It said that in the rules. I've got a 1, which can't be cold because I've already had cold 1. So I must have cold 8 in this triple, and that seems to be the 8. So if that's right, I think that is cold. These are not cold. One of them is hot 4. These squares here are 3, 5 and 7. And one of those is hot. Let's think about that. So one of these is hot. Now what have we had hot-wise? We've had hot 7. We don't really have, we haven't really had much else actually. So down here there's either hot, I'm going to take out that 5 corner mark, there's either hot 3 or hot 5. Alright, what are these digits? Let's look over here now. 2, 5 and 9, and that's not 9. And all of these are normal, are they? Okay, that's good. So the bottom of this column is 2, 5, 6 and 8. And that's not 2. Okay, I don't know how to do that. I've had the hot digit in here. So so this 15 cage is good, because if I've had the hot digit, the only way of adulterating the cage or modifying it would be to make it cold, which will require its 2 digits to be a 7-9 pair, adding up to 16, and they can't be because 7's here. So this is normal, and actually we therefore know it. Normal is green, because it's not 7-8. So it must be 6-9, I think, which means that's not 6. That's remarkable how little that's done. So there is a blue digit down here now, but we don't know what it is. Well, except we know, I suppose. Let's actually label it up. It's 1, 2, 4 or 8. But what have we had blue wise? We've had blue 1. We've had blue 8. So it's blue 2, and it's not blue 2, so it's blue 4. Blue 4 lives down here, which somehow doesn't tidy up any of our other blue markings. So now we've got blue 1, blue 2. We might have blue 3 there. Oh, we do have blue 3 there because we've got blue 8 here. Oh, this is gorgeous. This is very clever. It's really very clever. So now I've got blue 1, blue 2, blue 3, blue 4, blue 5. Blue 6 or 7 there. That's a bit annoying, isn't it? Blue 8, blue 9. So this box has got blue 6 or blue 7 in it. Right, but in this column, so it could be. Oh, I see. Right, hang on. Yeah, in this column I've not put blue in. So one of these is blue. Now, what so it's 2, so the blue digit here is 2, it's not 2, it's not 8, so it's 5 or 6. But I've had blue 5, right. So down here is blue 6, and it's in one of those squares, and that's not blue. And therefore that the blue digit over here is blue 7. And I think that's everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, okay, good. So we've done our blues. We've just got to do our hot digits now. So we've got 1. We might have 2, but we don't know. We've got 4. Have we got 3? Look. We've got hot 7 here, so that's not hot. So here, I've got hot 3 in one of those squares because that's hot 4 is there. So the 4 here can't be hot. So now I've got hot 1, might have hot 2, don't know. Hot 3, hot 4. Might have hot 5 here, might have hot 5 here. Hot 6, hot 7, hot 8, hot 9. Where's hot 9? Well, hot 9, I'm here to tell you, is in box 9, I think. Doesn't seem to be able to be anywhere else. So there's a hot 9 over here. It's not there. It's in fact, look. It's not. It's hot 9 is in one of those squares. Oh, surely you can't put hot 9 on the bulb of a thermo. No, because it would have value of 10 and this would have to have value of 11. A concept so ridiculous that we'd need a rebigulator to even think about it. Okay, so now what do we know? I don't know. I don't know how I don't know what these are. Oh, I see. I know what this is, don't I? I know what the hot digit is down here. Because I've had hot 7, so it's hot 3 or hot 5, and hot 3 is here. So this is hot 5, and therefore that is hot 2. Right. Right, where is 8 in box 9 is an interesting question. Because I don't think, if you look at 8s in boxes 7 and 8, they're in these cells. Which means the 8 in this row is in one of those 3 cells. But the 8 in boxes 3 and 6 are in these cells, so there's not been an 8. So we need to find a position for 8 in this box that's both in this row and this column. And there's only one of those, which is there. So that is an 8. Now, we know we're looking for... We know that's green. Because we know we're looking for a hot 9 and a blue 6, so all of these are normal. That's not 7 by the power of Sudoku. This row I think we can probably do something with. We've got 3, 4, 5 and 7 into these squares. Now let's take a look at that. The problem is we really don't know very much about this column. Well, the only thing I was thinking there is that that there is, we sort of know something because we've got an alignment of blue digits. So if this was blue 3, we know it's the cold digit, which means that must be cold 5 because you couldn't repeat the cold in the column. So this would be a 1. So there is a 1-3 pair, but they're floating because they're either there, that's either a 1-3 pair, or that's a 1-3 pair, and then there's a 5-8 floating pair as well. So it looks more like 1-3 is going to be useful down here because none of these can be 1-3. So if this was a 1-3 pair, these squares there would have to be a 1 in one of those two. And you couldn't put it in the bulb. So there would be a 1 in the corner. I've still got a chance of a 3 in the corner. I'm not sure. Can this be a 3? We might still have 2 chances for 3s in the corner. But but if this was 1-3, then 1 could go in the bulb, and that's a very natural place for it. I don't know. In fact, I'm starting to get a bit concerned about this. It's not totally obvious to me that this is... Again, in this column, look, everything is very, very open. And we've got a tiny little thermo that apparently fixes everything. Here is different from this side. Here we've got a sort of X-wing of hot digits. How does this work? We've got a 4 is the hot. So if that was a 4, that would be a 2, and that would be a 5. So we'd have a 5 on top of a 4, and a 2 on top of a 1. 5 on top of 4, 2 on top of 1. Ooh, yeah, okay, so the 2-1 combination looks like it's doing something. That's it. That's beautiful, actually. Yeah, that's really, really clever. Okay, so imagine, because we know one of these is a 2-1 pair, if you put it there, look, what you're doing is you're pushing 1 and 2 out of these two squares, which makes this bulb a 4 or an 8, and it plonks a 1 or a 2 in the tip of the thermo. Well, that's not going to work. This is not a Roggen puzzle where the thermos don't work. They need to work. So this can't be a 2 on top of a 1. So this needs to be a 2 on top of a 1, which means that's a 5 on top of a 4. Now that means that one is the hot digit. This one becomes a green digit. That becomes a hot digit. That becomes a nothing. That 5 does other things. Look, 5 and 3. 3 and 8. Here we go. Oh! That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. Ooh! Okay, and look, I've just spotted another deadly pattern here. That's only going to be resolved by the blue digit at the bottom. Wow. Okay. Oh, right, look. So this is now 1, 2. Yes, of course, that's the corollary of what we were doing before. So these are not 4. So there is a cold 4. Right, so there's a cold 4 on this side. And if there's a cold 4 on this side, the cold 7 must be there. Which means this square gets greened. This is 7. This is 6. This is 7. This is 9. This is 9. This is 6. Sorry, I'm just pausing there because I'm just trying to work out how I'm going to do this, because the cold 4 on the end of the thermo is not going to help me if it's there or there. We don't know. That's weird. I know those are not cold, so I know they're green. Sorry, I'm not understanding this. Oh, right, I see. I say I see. I don't see, but I now see I've got this same sort of thing going along the bottom rows. I.e., whichever one of these is 4, what's that going to do? That's going to put a 6 in the opposite position. So if that's 4, that's 6, that's 5, and that's 6. And that's... oh, this is going to get horribly complicated, sorry. Because the 8s and then... whichever one of these you put 4 into, it has an effect on this domino, which has an effect on this domino, but the fact that you put the 4 in also places the 8 in this domino, and that places these two cells as well. And that could even impact on where the hot digit goes. This is complicated. This is very complicated. I've moved away from that. I'm looking at something else now. I'm thinking that if that's not hot, then there's only one place for the hot digit in this row, and that would be there. Although, oh no, I was about to say that wouldn't be that useful, because I was thinking about having a 9 here, but that's not quite true, is it? Because if that's hot, that would force this to be a 6, and that would do some things. Yes, that actually would do some things. So why isn't that hot? To make that not hot, you need that square to be 5. That would make this a 3, which is not the hot digit. So why is this a 5? That's a 5. That's a 6. That's cold. So that's cold. Wow. Okay, that doesn't work. Wow. I think that there is an easy way to do this, but this is it's it's quite cool actually, to be honest. I think we end up with 2 9s here. So my thinking here was a bit weird. I decided to try and not make this hot, because I could see that was going to do something with this digit. To make this not hot, I could see I could make this not hot by making this a 5. In fact, let me do it slowly so you can see. If that's a 5, this is 6 now, and that's giving us our 3 here, which is not a hot digit. So now the hot digit in this row is exactly there, and it's a 9. But there's a problem, because this 6 plonks a 6 here by Sudoku, which is a cold 6. So this can't be the cold digit, and it has to be an 8. And if that's an 8, that's a 9, and I get 2 9s in the row. That's quite complicated. That is quite complicated. So what we can now say is it's not possible for this square to be forced to be a 3. And the way we did that was making this a 5. So we've got to go 6 5, which plonks the 6 here as the cold digit, which means that's the cold digit. We get 8 here, 8 here, 9 here, 9 here by Sudoku, so we still get the 9 here. But this time we don't get the naughty 8 here. Now that being 9 we know is hot. These therefore have to be normal. This is therefore hot, which tells us it is the 6. This is now green. Ah! No, I didn't mean to do that. I just want to make it green. Please. I'll make it 7. Now that gives me a 6 here and an 8 here, which gives me an 8 here and a 3 here, which is the cold digit. And therefore that becomes green. Therefore that's the 5 by the power of X wings on cold digits. This is no longer cold. Okay, now have we done it now? I don't know is the answer. We can do some more colouring down at the bottom. We know that's cold, don't we? We know this is cold. We know this in the corner is therefore normal. This is not a hot digit, so it's not the 5 because it's already been a hot digit. So that's 3. That's therefore losing its colour. And we can take stock and see where we are. Okay. What else can we do? I still don't. Oh, I see. This is a 2 now by Sudoku, so that gives me a 2 and a 4. So this square is a naked single. That's not a 3 in the corner, but we already had a lovely one of those. That means this is 3 and this is 4. Now 3 here was the hot digit. Okay, well, I'm quite pleased about that. So because I noted that could have been hot earlier, and I think I've only just logically ruled that out. So I'm glad I didn't leave that in there. It might have spoiled all of this later logic. So that's hot now, which we know is 5. That's 7 and is green. What about this row then? 1, 2 and 5. So this square is a naked single. 5, 5, 2, 2, 1. This square must be naked by now. It's a 7. That's a 9. That puts, oh, I was about to say that puts 9 in the corner. It most certainly doesn't. 1 and 4, 4 and 1 go into the grid. And this might be correct, but I don't know. Let's just check. I know we did the cold digits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right, let's see. Yes. That's brilliant. That's quite brilliant, VikingPrime. I didn't find that easy. I'm going to be intrigued to read the comments to find out whether you guys all blitzed this one. There was a lot of interesting stuff, and the end was fascinating. Sort of X-wingage working nicely. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.
you.